Welcome back to a brand new Clash Royale video, guys. My name is Patrick, aka Chief Pat, and today we're going to be hopping into the next episode of my Let's Play Clash Royale series, where we're going to be doing my first ever tournament on my YouTube channel. Now, you guys had a great idea in my last video to spend the 500 free gems that I did get on this account to make a tournament, because once you do one tournament, you actually get your gems back in the form of an achievement. So I'm going to go ahead and do a tournament. It's called Cheese Pat. You guys can look it up, and the password is dank memes, all lowercase letters without a space. And the tournament is going to be going live at 5 p.m. on the East Coast for the United States today. That's 2 p.m. on the West Coast. If you guys are in Europe, that's going to be like 6 to 8 hours afterwards. I'll put a time zone converter in the description below, but it should be around 2 hours after this video goes live, 2 to 2.5 hours. So follow me on Twitter. I will let you know the exact time that I posted and it goes live. Follow me at Chief Pat, and you guys will have a chance to join this tournament. Now, it's not the biggest tournament ever. It's only one that I think fits like, what, 50 to 100 people. But if you guys can get in there, I will show the results at the beginning of the next Let's Play video, and you will forever be immortalized on my channel. So pretty cool stuff right there. Feel free to try to get into the tournament, but let's go ahead and get into a couple of battles today on my Chief Pat 2 account. I didn't get to upgrade my Sparky yet. You guys saw in the last video I got a free-to-play Sparky, which let me upgrade it up to level 2, but I do need 5,000 gold, and I'm gonna buy that gold using the gems I get back from that tournament achievement. It's the same exact thing. I get 500 gems for hosting the tournament. One of the weirdest achievements that Supercell has ever released, but that's what I'm going to spend that gold on, so we can get that Sparky achievement or Sparky upgrade done. It's actually going to be a really big upgrade for me though, because there's certain cards that the Sparky cannot one-shot, like the level 6 Valkyrie. It still has a little bit of HP left, and also giving my Sparky just a little bit more HP is so helpful in some situations to get that last blast off. I feel like HP is one of the biggest things for Sparky. It's not necessarily the damage. But yeah, it's been really good so far, and hopefully when we get that upgrade done, maybe just a couple of cards up to level 9 as far as my commons go. I'm upgrading my Zap right now as far as my donation requests, and we'll be able to hit the legendary arena as a brand new level 8. That's the dream, but let's go ahead and keep pushing on this account. And starting off with this battle right here, we're actually playing a fellow Sparky user, and it's going to be all about how you play your zaps in this battle. So he went ahead and zapped first, and you guys know those ancient, or those like old school duels where people would like bring out whoever, I don't even know what I'm saying right now, like the old school quick draw stuff. I feel like that's what it's sort of like with these Sparkies right here, and he made the mistake of bringing out his zap spell first. That let me zap second, and I ended up destroying both his Sparky as well as hitting the tower, and now we have a pretty commanding lead going into the rest of the battle. So Valkyrie on the left, I'm full on elixir, I don't want to waste anything. I'm going to play my cannon immediately afterwards. He's got a huge push down the left hand side that I'm actually getting pretty worried about, so I'm going to go ahead and counter with my own on the right just to guarantee I get that tower, and then we can start focusing on the left, even though things are looking pretty rough. Alright, so Musketeer's gone down. I've got the zap spell for the Sparky, my Valkyrie instantly behind the Sparky to make sure the Sparky does not target onto my tower, which would be brutal. And since the Valkyrie was able to tank that Sparky shot, you're going to notice, just like I said, the level 6 Valkyrie will survive a level 1 Sparky shot. That's going to give my troops enough time to kill it down, and that means my towers are completely safe, and we're going to try to go for that 2 crown win for our crown chest, but unfortunately, he's going to play some good defense to wrap up that battle. So good game against Ito. I don't even know, one of the most confusing clan names ever to pronounce. I'm not even going to try right here. 30 trophies and 16 gold for this one. But let me hop into a couple of replays I had recently, because I actually had some pretty fun battles on this account. And they went down to the wire, and they ended up being pretty dramatic. All right. So this one's going to be going against a level 10 called Corolla 11 from the clan Jumbo D's. He must be talking about defense, but I'm going to start with an elixir collector in the bottom left. He's got one in the center. I'm going to do my giant in the very back, and take a look at this dude's deck. He has the bomber. He has I guess the rest of the cards are pretty meta. He has the arrows, which you don't see a lot of people using anymore. And since the bomber's by itself right now, I'm not even going to worry about the bomber, and I'm going to make a big push down the right-hand lane. So I've got my giant and my musketeer combo. I've got the Valkyrie. I've got the Sparky. And at this point, I'm thinking he's going to drop his minion horde. So you could see me hovering over my zap, and eventually I go to my fire spirits, and he, for some reason, plays his arrows, I guess to get a bunch of damage done against my troops. And because of those arrows going down the same exact time as my fire spirits, that ended up making it so I had to drop way more elixir to help kill that minion horde, and overall it snowballs him to let him push all the way down my right-hand lane to where I have to drop my Valkyrie, and boom. freeze spell right on top of my face, and this tower is going to be blown to smithereens. So a very unfortunate start to the game. I thought we were going to actually not take any damage whatsoever on my right-hand tower, but due to the fact that he dropped his arrows right as my fire spirits went down, was a little bit disappointing, and that's what ended up for me losing that right-hand tower and sort of turning the game on its head right there. Now, at this point, he's going to arrow both my towers as well as that elixir collector. I don't really mind that, and at this point, I know he doesn't have a zap, so there's no way he can possibly stop my Sparky, except for dropping a troop onto the ground, which is going to be really, really annoying for him. So Sparky's going to start charging up down the lane. I've got a pretty decent elixir lead right now, given the fact that I have a Sparky on the battlefield as well as an elixir collector, and he makes a huge mistake right there with the Ice Wizard. The Ice Wizard's going to go down the right-hand lane, which means I can just drop all my troops on the left. Sparky's going to lock onto the bomber as well as that ground tower right there, and that means this thing's going to be absolutely blown to pieces, and we're going to take tower number 2 for the game. Now realize though that this one isn't over because he has the Hog Rider freeze combo. He's going to arrow down my offensive push down the left-hand lane, and then he's going to drop his Hog Rider, so I'm going to have to cannon in the very center. You can see he's just holding on defense right now, thinking that he might get 3 crown, but honestly at this point he has to go for the win. And for me, my Musketeer is going to go down the left-hand lane. I thought I could get her to shoot from behind, but she's going to just go ahead and completely avoid that minion horde. My Fire Spirits will be able to kill those minions. A couple of them will get some hits off against the tower. I don't have my cannon, so I have to cycle to it extremely quickly, but the Hog Rider is going to lock onto the tower. Freeze spell is going to hit absolutely everything, but my zap will clean up that Hog Rider as things got a little bit testy towards the very end. I should have just played my Elixir Collector to stop the Hog Rider. I was getting a little bit too cute right there, and because of that, it almost costed me the game, and I did a giant cannon cycle. That was one of the weirder cycles I've ever done. But good game, 2 crowns to 1 against Corolla 11. Would have loved to get that 3rd crown for my crown chest, but let's go and get into one more battle against Yachty PR. And if you look at his hand right now, he is running the Royal Giant as well as the Sparky. You don't see a lot of Royal Giant Sparky combinations, just due to the fact that the Royal Giant gets in the Sparky's way. And it looks like instead of starting off with anything too heavy from the back, he's going to go for those Spear Goblins, and that makes it so we're going to have a little bit of a tango on the right-hand side. Just like the very first battle of the day, we're going to have to deal with the Sparky as we have our own, so it's really all about who plays that Zap spell first to determine who's going to end up getting that W. Now, unfortunately for us, we have to waste our Fire Spirits. I had to cycle a card to make sure that I could get to my Sparky. And as we make our plays, our cannon's going to help out against the Royal GG. We've got the Goblins right there, and looks like my Sparky actually ended up shooting the Goblins. I would have loved my cannon to do something, but take a look. He's going to drop his Zap spell first, and he knows he's made a big mistake. The angry face is going to come out. I'm going to drop the thumbs up because at this point, he does not have that Zap spell anymore, and I'm going to be charging all the way towards his tower. And that spells bad news from Yachty PR. So Sparky's going to lock on for 1 shot. Musketeer's going to help kill these archers right here. Sparky's going to lock on for the 2nd shot, as well as AoE splash down that tower. This guy is throwing out some emotes. He is definitely not pleased with what just happened right there, and I don't blame him. He got destroyed on the right-hand lane. So he's just tossing some emotes out there, and definitely not BMing, but he's a little disappointed about the Sparky stuff that happened right there. So I went ahead and just threw a little angry emote back. Now we have to start on the left-hand lane because he does have the Royal Giant, which is going to be tough for us to deal with on the right-hand side. So he's going to play a Royal Giant right in the front. I'm going to go ahead and try to play my cannon just in time. Of course, I play the cannon just a little bit too late. I was trying to make sure that the tower locked on. So my cannon got maximum value. So a misplay for me lends my tower to dropping down to 282 HP. And I definitely have to work on that left-hand lane, or else things are just going to get really, really nasty. So Sparky's going to take out those Spear Goblins. Not the best trade right there, but then Sparky's going to turn around and kill the Archers as well. So that's a 6-for-5 trade right there, seeing as the Spear Goblins are 2 and the Archers are 3. Meanwhile, he's going to cycle through his Goblins to get back to his Royal GG. I'm going to cycle through my Sparky to try to get to my cannon as well, but unfortunately, not enough time to get that done, and the Royal Giant's going to go ham on the left-hand lane and take out that tower. So I'm going to transition my focus from defending the right to going towards the left. I'm going to zap down his Sparky, and my Musketeer is actually going to be able to help take out his Sparky as well before he can even zap mine, which was charging up. His tower is going to go down in the left-hand lane, and now both towers have gone down. He has a Royal Giant onto my tower, but honestly, really not going to do too much, and that is going to be the end of the game. One last Royal Giant in the very center, but unfortunately, not going to be able to do too much against that left-hand King Tower, or Crown Tower, so I'm going to drop a little Elixir Collector in the center to troll him a bit. and that's going to do it for this game. So some fun games on my main Chief Pat account, but I'm definitely ready to get some more upgrades done. Again, I'm eyeing the Zap spell right now, which is going to go up to level 9, because right now my Zap spell does not kill a lot of the goblins that I play against, and you guys know how frustrating that is, especially going against the Goblin Barrel. And then also getting that Sparky to level 2 as soon as I get that gold from the gems is definitely the focus right now. So we're at 2,766 trophies, which is pretty good, only about 250 away from the legendary arena. But again, guys, the tournament is going to be coming at 5 p.m. Eastern time for the United States today. That's 2 p.m. on the West Coast. And then for Europe, I'll try to throw a time zone converter below. For example, in Finland, it would be at midnight. And I think for like Germany, it would be at 11 p.m. I don't exactly know. I'm not too much of an expert with the time zone. But again, the name is Cheese Pat. The password is dank memes without a space. And I hope to see you guys inside of the tournament. Follow me on Twitter at Chief Pat if you want a instant update on when the tournament goes live. And that is going to do it for this video. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.